man, I've been dreaming about a new Mario Kart since 2015, which was only a year after the original Mario Kart 8 actually released for the Wii U. Because of the overall failure of the Wii U and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's success, we haven't seen a new Mario Kart game in quite a while, and no, these do not count. However, with the Switch's lifespan coming to an end and the Switch 2 actually being a real thing, getting a new Mario Kart at some point in the next couple of years isn't completely impossible. In fact, it's pretty likely. A lot of rumors have started spreading about an alleged new Mario Kart as well, and I think this is the perfect time to try to predict what a new Mario Kart could really look like. So, I'm planning to make this a series, and we'll start with the character roster. This video will cover who I think should be in the next Mario Kart game as playable characters. I've already made an entire roster for this, so let's get into it. So first things first, how many characters are going to be in this next Mario Kart game? Let's call it Mario Kart 10 for the sake of simplicity. Well, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had 48 racers in total. For this roster, I wanted to go a little bigger. I went with 56 characters. Do I think there are actually going to be 56 characters in the base game? Probably not, but I wanted to really give this roster my full potential.
So let's get the staples out of the way first. The characters that are basically guaranteed to be in the next Mario Kart game. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Yoshi, Toad, Donkey Kong, Bowser, Koopa Troopa, Wario, and Waluigi all pretty much have some guaranteed spots to be in the next game. I mean, it can't be Mario Kart without them. Sure, in the past, in Mario Kart DS, we had a game without Koopa Troopa, and Mario Kart 7, Waluigi wasn't present, but at the same time, these were titles that were on a very old and handheld console, so some limitations had to be put on these rosters. The next couple of characters I'm going to list aren't really guaranteed, but let's face it, they're probably going to be in the next game. Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Shy Guy, Dry Bones,
Diddy Kong, Toadette, Birdo, and maybe Pauline. Pauline's pretty much been in every recent Mario spin-off, so it's pretty safe to say she'll be in the next Mario Kart.
I'm also going to go ahead and mention the Miis. They should be a prominent part of the Switch successor, unlike the Switch. So assuming they're going to give the Miis special attention like they did on the Switch, they're going to be available to play as in the next Mario Kart with some additional customization regarding voice, weight class, and costumes.
Now let's talk about some returning characters that pretty much should be in the next Mario Kart. They could get cut, but it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to. Funky Kong, Paratroopa, Petey Piranha, King Boo, Bowser Jr.,
Dry Bowser, the Koopalings, but you can only find them under the slot of Bowser Jr., Kamek, and Baby Daisy, because I'm only giving her one more chance or it's execution. With that being said, Baby Rosalina is without a doubt being cut from the roster, alongside Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, and Pink Gold Peach. Metal Mario is someone who I'm going to let stay because he's pretty much his own character at this point. Pink Gold Peach was just a load of bullshit that they used to excuse a female heavyweight character when they have so much other interesting options for new characters to debut in Mario Kart as female heavyweights or whatever. Now let's talk about some of the more obscure returning characters. I do want to see Wiggler and Honey Queen come back for this next Mario Kart game. If you've seen my Mario Kart videos from before, you know why Wiggler is like the best Mario Kart character of all time. Plus, he was added in the Booster Course Pass, so it's pretty safe to say he'll be considered in the next Mario Kart game. Honey Queen has a lot less of a chance because she's a very irrelevant character, but if you need female heavyweights in your roster so bad, then just go with Honey Queen. She was a pretty interesting new character anyway, so you might as well. Oh, and I forgot about Lakitu. I keep forgetting about Lakitu. Lakitu's still playable. Koopa Paratroopa will serve as an alternate costume for Koopa. And as for the crossover characters, we'll get to them later. Now let's talk about the most exciting thing to talk about when you're making a Mario Kart roster. New characters. Unlike a lot of the other Mario sports games on Switch, we need a lot of new characters. New enemies, new Mario characters in general, characters who aren't Green Bronze Luigi, and there's a lot to choose from, so let's start off with Cappy. How is he not playable in any of the Mario sports games on Switch? I mean, you make this really unique and cool character with a really cool design, and he's not playable in any other game. Why? We are not making a repeat of the Lubba situation, who hasn't been seen in like a bajillion years. So Cappy is very much a playable character. Let's talk about some characters who were considered for past Mario Kart games but never actually made the cut. Hammer Bro and Professor Egad are perfect characters to include in this. Yeah, Hammer Bro was in Tor, yada yada yada, but just put him in. And Professor Egad would be a super interesting character, worthy of representing the Luigi's Mansion series. And going on the topic of baby characters, since Nintendo loves their babies. To replace Baby Rosalina, we can go with someone like Baby Wario, who would be a lot more interesting and would represent the Yoshi's Island series pretty well. That's it. That's the only new baby character. Just keep it at 5. Now, what are some new Mario enemies that can be playable in the next Mario Kart game? These usually bring about some of the more interesting and obscure ideas. And the obscure picks for Mario Kart rosters always get me excited. So let's start off with some pretty standard Mario enemies that I think should be playable. Boom Boom and Pom Pom. They've been bosses in some of the recent Mario games for a while. I think they've earned their spot. Boom Boom was playable in Mario Tennis Aces, and Pom Pom was playable in Super Mario Party, so I'd say there's some pretty good candidates. Nabbit is another character that would be awesome. I don't think he's really considered a Mario enemy, but he was playable in Tour, and he's getting his revival in Wonder. And plus, he's just a really unique character, so I think he's the perfect option to choose here. All of the Brutals from Mario Odyssey would also be pretty cool to see. However, I don't think they should take up a bunch of slots, so let's just put them all under one, including Madame Brute. There's a female heavyweight character for you there, Nintendo. And for the last Mario enemy I'm going to talk about here, you guys gotta bear with me. You know how you want the Goomba playable? Yeah, no, we don't. We want the Goomba Tower. How stupid would it be if you could drive as a literal stack of Goombas? That would be so dumb. Like one of them is like holding the steering wheel with their mouth or something. The middle one like holds the items with his foot trying to balance it, and then the top one's like literally trying to balance on top of the other 2 Goombas. Like if you can picture it, this is literally the perfect stupid character of the roster. Every Mario Kart has the stupid character. This is the stupid character. Now, on a lot of rosters, I see people putting like Paper Mario characters, and well, that's a cool idea. I don't know, it's a bit out there for me. And since Nintendo loves their clone characters, why not do a cool clone character idea and just make Paper Mario himself playable? He could have some really cool like animations on certain angles, and it would be like a really cool art style, similar to how Donkey Kong Jr. looked in Mario Kart Tour, who by the way we are also not bringing back to this game. Now let's talk about Mario allies. Who are some allies that we should see playable in the next Mario Kart? I'm talking like some of the good guys that you see in some of the other mainline Mario games. Let's see the Poplins playable. I really like these guys playing Mario Wonder, and Toad's already my favorite character. It would be cool to see them with some alternate colors. Plessy was also such a really cool and cute character. He would be a perfect example of like a more cute heavyweight, and he played a prominent role in Bowser's Fury, so why not? The Sprixies are also another cool character that you can include from Mario 3D World. What if you could even change between their alternate colors as well? It's sad because their only playable experience was in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. You know, the best Mario Kart, Mario Sports game of all time. Pianto would also be a great character to include. I mean, he was playable in Sluggers, and maybe Inoki could even be an alternate costume. Now, talking more about Mario Wonder representation, Prince Florian is too awesome to leave out of the roster. He plays a prominent role in the game, and it would be awesome. And for the last Mario Wonder representative, I don't know if people are gonna love or hate this. I want to see the Talking Flower playable. You could just give him the funniest lines, the dumbest animations. The Talking Flower was one of my favorite parts of Mario Wonder, so I would love to play as him.
Something else I forgot to mention when talking about the Mario enemies, I do also want to see King Bomb Bomb playable, just like he was in Tour.
And finally, the last row of the roster. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these are some of my more unsure picks. More about I'm unsure on how I feel about them, but I'd be fine with most of them playable. For the first option, I do feel like we need someone to represent the WarioWare series. My whole life, I never really thought this was such a good idea, having a series like WarioWare or Donkey Kong be heavily represented in Mario Kart. But the only people in this roster Wario's really getting is Waluigi and the baby version of him. And plus, WarioWare is actually doing really well on the Switch. I never really would have expected 2 games to come from WarioWare on the Switch, but Get It Together really got me into the series, and I want to see one of these characters. Since I feel like a girl is more suitable, I'm gonna go with Ashley. Even before I got into WarioWare, I've always really liked Ashley, and she'd be such a unique character to be represented in Mario. If freaking Tiny Kong can be in Mario Sluggers, I'm sure Ashley can be in Mario Kart. Moving on, as much as I didn't really want to do this, we have 2 more representatives of the Donkey Kong series, King K. Rool and Cranky Kong. K. Rool's been getting a lot of popularity from Smash and stuff, and he was in Mario Sluggers, while Cranky Kong had his appearance in the Mario movie, and he actually played a pretty important role. Plus, he's literally there during the Mario Kart scene, so you might as well include him. We also don't have a lot more older characters characters. I was gonna put Toadsworth in this roster, but I just replaced him with the Poplin instead, since he's basically just Toad with a mustache. And Nintendo doesn't seem to really care about him that much anymore. Hashtag bring back Toadsworth. And then we have the last 3 characters on this list. These are in fact the crossed over characters. Now I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to put them in, not one single bit. Well, these 3 characters I'm okay with, but I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the whole non-Mario characters in Mario Kart thing. Seeing Link in Mario Kart is just, it's weird. I say keep the Mario in Mario Kart. Don't go overboard with the non-Mario characters or people are gonna start demanding like Steve from Minecraft. But these are the 3 non-Mario characters that I'd like to see in Mario Kart. Yes, I'm only having 3. A lot of the rosters I see online are so bad because there are so much non-Mario characters that not only don't fit in with the franchise at all, but are really stupid. Like, why would I want to play as Mr. Game & Watch in Mario Kart? I don't know why I said that. I can already hear some of you typing in the comments going like, oh, I want to play Mr. Game & Watch in Mario Kart. I think 3 is a good enough amount, and I will say right now, one of them is Rob. I liked Rob in Mario Kart DS, and I think he could do a lot of cool, cute trick animations and stuff, and it would be a pretty cool, nostalgic throwback. Kirby is also a character I wouldn't mind seeing in Mario Kart. He's very cute, fits in with the art style, and although he would look a little awkward in a cart, so would freaking Goomba Towers. And the last one has actually been seen in a Mario Kart arcade game before. I'm talking about Pac-Man. Out of the 3 characters I've listed here, I'd love to see him the most. He's a classic character and his design would fit in perfectly with Mario Kart's overall style. And boom, that's the entire roster. Depending on how you look at it, some of these characters could be DLC, but there is something else that I'd like to mention. This Mario Kart is going to have unlockable characters return. So some of the characters on this roster are going to be unlockable. Who? I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure I can think of some people that would be. I also hear a lot of people clamoring for the Mario Kart Tour costumes to come back, which I'm pretty iffy about. I'm not really sure how I feel about them being in a mainline Mario Kart, but here's an idea. What if, similar to how Nintendo Switch ports rotated their costumes for their sports mates, imagine if there were rotating events where you can get different costumes for different characters. And lastly, I'm just gonna go over some changes that would come in some of the characters on this roster. Peach, when in a cart, is going to wear her hair down, while on a bike, she'll wear her ponytail. If Rosalina and Pauline can wear their hair like that when they're in carts, I'm sure Peach can too. Rosalina, like in Mario Kart Wii, races with her Luma alongside her. Toad, Poplin, Koopa Troopa, Hammer Bro, the Sprixie Princesses, and Kamek will all have new alternate colors similar to Yoshi and Shy Guy. Oh, and Pianta, because he comes in a lot of different colors. And lastly, the Miis are going to be much more customizable and won't have to wear those stupid freaking helmets on their head. You'll be able to customize your Mii's racing suit, voice, trick animations, and so much more. On the topic of trick animations, I feel like a lot more characters should get a lot more trick animations. Since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe only cycles through about 3, I think there should be at least about 5. It'd be great to give the characters more personality.
With all that being said, that's pretty much my take on what I think the roster should look like in the next Mario Kart game. I don't know how well this video is going to do, but if you guys want me to cover the tracks in the next episode, let me know in the comments below and drop a like on this video. Let's see if we can maybe get to 100 likes on this video. If you guys like what you saw here, be sure to subscribe as well, because I do really want to post more content talking about Mario Kart or what I want to see in a future game, because it's something I'm really passionate about. So your support on this would absolutely mean the world. Just you watching means the world. And I hope I can do more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching and have yourselves a wonderful day.